Welcome to the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks. We're Jim and Joe, lifelong friends, lifelong fans, bringing you fan-driven sports talk the way real fans do. No overpaid experts, no scripted analysis, just honest takes on the games, players, and the big stories shaping sports right now.
We want you to be a part of it too. Drop your comments, questions, and takes. We'll read them all, bring them into future shows. Please hit like, please subscribe, and join our conversation every week for free. We love having you right here on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, or wherever you listen. Good afternoon. Tuesday afternoon, Joseph.
Tuesday afternoon. Sounds like it should be a song.
Yes, it is.
Yes. ELO would probably, do something like that.
Wait, but I think it's Moody Blues.
Moody Blues. There you go. I love the fact that we're doing a special episode, what sport are we specializing today? I think you had something in your hand maybe that might have given it away. It's the basketball edition. Well, we're not experts. We're armchair quarterbacks or armchair point guards in this case. But we're fortunate. We have a guest that's going to be joining us here shortly. And this guest will help guide us through the upcoming March Madness and all of the things going on because this guest is Teddy. Just like there's no nepotism involved here, but Teddy happens to be my son. But I happen to know that he loves basketball, and because of that, he knows a lot about it, and more than I do, that's for sure. And so we'll have an opportunity to, pick his brain and hear his thoughts per se. So I'm going to go ahead and invite him in. And while we're doing that, just want to give you Teddy played basketball in high school. He was a stud sharpshooter, played guard and small forward. He played all 4 years in high school. Great basketball player. He's down at Georgia College right now. Key member of the powerful intramural basketball team down there as well. So, hey, Teddy, there you go.
Hey, what's going on, Jim and my dad? How you guys doing?
Yeah, man. I was just building up your resume to our viewers and listeners that you were a stud basketball player in high school. You're a key reason your intramural team kicks butt down there at Georgia College. And whenever I had the privilege of doing the PA, by the way, for South Forsyth High School. Before my son was on the team, I was already doing it. So, hey, that wasn't why I got the job. But I had the unbelievable privilege as a dad to not only watch Teddy's games, but call them from courtside, which was amazing. But every time Teddy went to put the ball up, the other team pretty much just turned around and started running the other way because they knew it was going in. But enough about that. Teddy, thanks for joining us. This is episode 40 of the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks. We've never had a guest, so you have the...
No problem. I'm really excited to be on and talk about my favorite thing in the world, which is basketball. Really looking forward to it. Thanks again for having me on. Super excited.
Yes, well, it's our pleasure. And Jim and I have struggled through quite a bit of our sports knowledge in all sports. And when it came to basketball, we could handle it. We know a lot about it too, but we also understand our limitations, which are many. So we thought we'd bring you in. March Madness is upon us. So what better time to bring in your opinions and expertise and help guide us through what we're going to witness here over the next few weeks.
I got a question for you, Ted.
Let's hear it.
You were a sharpshooter in high school, okay, and on your intramural team. Hope you're doing well, by the way. I'm sure you are. But could you play some defense?
Yeah, I would say definitely I was a lot of a offensive-minded basketball player for sure. But I could play some defense for sure. But definitely not my strong suit. Scoring the ball was definitely something I was a lot more interested in, if we can put it that way, for sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good question. What, Dean Smith? I didn't know Dean Smith was on the show today. Jeez. My God.
Yeah.
Jeez. Nice question to start off with, Jim.
You're looking at college basketball right now. What's one team everybody is all hyped up about that worries you? And if to the sense where as you're getting ready to do your bracket, you just don't trust?
Yeah, really good question, Jim. I think The 1 seeds this year are going to be the teams to beat, obviously, Michigan, Arizona, Duke, and Florida. I think Florida is going to get the nod for the last 1 seed. I think it might be them 4 in the Final Four again, but we can get more into that later. But for me, there's really 3 teams, or really 2 teams that I think I'm a little hesitant on that have had a pretty good year for the most part. Those 2 teams are going to be Nebraska and Virginia. Now, when looking at Virginia specifically, I think their schedule has been pretty weak. They do have a pretty good record overall, but when they play the good teams in the ACC, when they played Duke, I think they lost by 25 plus points. Obviously, Duke is one of the best teams in the country, but I think Virginia lacks the firepower. Thomas DeRieder is a pretty good player, but they're really deep. But when a player needs to go get a bucket or they're down by 10, I don't really think they have the firepower, like I said, to kind of bring them back. And Nebraska, I think, is another team. When it comes to quad 1 games, they're 9-5. They're pretty much undefeated in quad 2, 3, and 4. But when they go up against those good teams in the Big Ten, they do have a good win here and there. But once again, I think they kind of just lack some firepower. They have had some injuries, and I think Nebraska is going to lose to a super high seed in either the round of 64 or the round of 32. I don't think they're going to make it past one of those rounds.
Yeah. Gotcha. And now for the good old talk and college basketball every year, March Madness, everybody starts going, okay, who's going to be this year's Cinderella? Is there just one team that's going to be a Cinderella, or you think there's going to be a couple?
I think there is so many teams. That's a really good question too, Jim. Like I said, I think the number 1 and 2 seeds are going to be pretty locked up, and I think those are really, really good basketball teams. But I guess I can kind of break off into like 2 different sections. Now, these are going to be like arguably 3 to 6 seeds who are kind of a little under the radar and who can make a really deep run. And those 3 teams that I have, excuse me, are Texas Tech, Gonzaga, and Alabama. Now, no one really talks about Gonzaga. Obviously, they have one of the best records in college basketball right now. Now, they're not in the best conference, so their schedule is a little bit Mickey Mouse-ish. But they are 6-1 in neutral sites. They are 29-3. They have 2 pretty bad losses to Portland and St. Mary's. But when push comes to shove, they are a really good team. They're going to be a 3 or 4 seed. No one really talks about or mentions Gonzaga, in my opinion. And the other 2 teams that I talked about, Texas Tech. Now, obviously, JT Toppin tore his ACL a couple weeks ago, but they are still really, really, really good. They play in my opinion, the best conference in college basketball, the Big 12. And Christian Anderson is one of the best point guards in the country. They still have a lot of firepower. They can shoot the heck out of the basketball. They could still make a really deep run in the tournament. Alabama as well. They, I think, average the 2nd or 3rd most points per game in the country, somewhere around there. They can score really efficiently, and they can get up and down the floor really quick. They have, in my opinion, one of the best backcourts in the country as well. LeBaron Philon and Aina Holloway. LeBaron Philon is averaging like 22 and 5. They are really, really good. They can score the basketball. Now, defensively, that's where they lack. But if they can play some defense, I think they can go really far in the tournament. And then 3 other teams that I really do like as well are going to be Ohio State, Cincinnati, and TCU. Now,
Where's St. John's? How come I'm not hearing about St. John's? Come on.
St. John's, they're good. They're good. They have a lot of talent, but they have some pretty bad losses this year as well. But since St. John's can make a run as well, I agree. I agree with you, Dad. But TCU, they have some good wins. I'm a big Kansas fan, so call me a bandwagon. I've liked them for 10 plus years now, so I've stuck with them pretty heavily. But TCU took us to overtime in Allen Fieldhouse, which never happens. They have some good wins as well. And Cincinnati beat us at home by 20 plus points, which is one of the worst losses I have ever seen as a Kansas fan. But Cincinnati has some really good wins. Baba Miller, Dede Thomas, they have some really, really good players. They're going to be a high seed. And like I said, Ohio State, they have been playing some really, really good basketball on a very hard conference this year in the Big Ten. They just beat Purdue. Now, Purdue was sliding a little bit, but I think Ohio State can be a really good team in March. And fun fact, I played against their best player and their all-time leading scorer, Bruce Thorin, in high school, which was not a very fun day for me. But Bruce is playing some good basketball, and so is Ohio State. But those are going to be my 6 teams, I guess, dark horses in March for me.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think a lot of those teams, especially the ones with some pedigree, have a chance. I mean, I know teams like UConn pop up, Illinois, they pop up sometimes. I know Iowa State's kind of in the mix, but do you feel this is obviously just opinion? it just seems to me that more than other years, and it's kind of interesting because I was just reading that I was looking at the Final Four and how many number one seeds make it. Last year, we all may remember, all 4 number one seeds made it to the Final Four. That's rare. 2024, 2, 23, 0. I just feel like this is one of those years that the 4 top teams are like last year. They are going to be really hard outs for anybody.
I 100% agree. And like I said, Duke, Michigan, and Arizona, in my opinion, are on a pedestal by themselves. Iowa State, Houston, there's a lot of good 2 and 3 seeds, but like I said, when push comes to shove, those teams are really, really good. They're all big. They're really good defensively. They can score the ball. And also Florida, I think, is once again going to get the nod for the last number 1 seed. Now, they started off the year a little rocky, losing to teams like Auburn, now which Auburn has been really bad this year. But Florida, they have one of the best front courts in the country. Thomas Hogg, Ruben Chenyolu, and also Alex Condon. I mean, when you put those 3 on the court, I mean, it's very, very hard to beat them. And also when their guards play good, Xavion Lee, Boogie Fland, when their whole team plays well and their guards play good, I think they can beat anybody. But those 4 teams, I would not be shocked at all if those teams are going to be in the Final Four this year at all.
I got a question. And I guess what will give Florida some serious advantage, they're the defending national champions.
100%. Yeah.
So you can't take away that experience. And you're right about their front court. My question is, what makes you think the Big 12 is the best conference in basketball? That surprised me. Of course, I'm a little bit on the ACC side, and what is it about the Big 12?
It's a really good question. I mean, in my opinion, I think ACC right now, this second, is the 3rd best conference in college basketball. I'm going to give Big 10 the nod over the ACC. Maybe if Caleb Wilson was in the conversation. North Carolina obviously took a huge hit with him being out, but Duke's obviously really, really good. But other than that, I feel like the ACC doesn't really have anybody who can really get it done, in my opinion. Virginia is obviously good, but I think they're pretty fraudulent. Louisville, Mikael Brown's not even playing in the ACC tournament. But the Big 10, Michigan, Nebraska, Purdue, Illinois, they have a lot of really, really good teams in that conference. But the Big 12, top to bottom, teams like TCU, UCF, even Arizona State, Cincinnati, those teams are in the very bottom of the conference, and I think those would be teams that can compete in pretty much any other conference. Obviously not going to be one of the best teams, but when you look at teams like Iowa State, Texas Tech, even a team like BYU who just lost Richie Saunders, BYU can still be a really good team. They have a really, really good team, AJ DeBonsa, Robert White. Those top 5 teams, Arizona, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Houston, Kansas, those 5 teams, if you put those top 5 teams against any other top 5 teams in any other conference, I think those top 5 teams are just so much better top to bottom than any other conference, in my opinion. And it is the deepest, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah. You backed it up?
I mean, yeah, with teams like, Clemson, Syracuse, teams like that are just way down.
Yeah.
Quality depth of conference for the ACC is way down. Plus, I mean, I hate to say it, but the bottom dwellers in the ACC are bottom dwellers, man. Teams like Georgia Tech, Syracuse. I mean, it's almost really hard to watch, quite frankly.
And also, oh, sorry, Jim, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I also do want to give the SEC their flowers as well because, teams like Alabama, Vanderbilt. Now, Vanderbilt is a little fraudulent, but obviously Florida, Alabama, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, even Kentucky. I know my best friend's a diehard Kentucky fan, so I hear a lot about the Wildcats, but they have had a pretty bad season, obviously. But even teams like that, the SEC is still pretty deep. But, yeah, I'm going to give the Big 12 the nod for sure.
I got you. That's a good opinion. I have another question on the 2 years in a row you're predicting that we're going to see the top seeds make it to the Final Four. There's got to be one team out of those 4 teams that you're shaky on that's not going to make it to the Final Four. If there's one team, what team would that be and why?
It's a really good question, Jim. I think two pretty much auto locks, and that I would put a lot of money that they would make it to the Final Four, are going to be Duke and Arizona. Those two teams to me are the best out of the four. And the reason why I say that is because Florida, when their guards don't play the best, they're going to struggle, especially against when they're in the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16 and they're going up against good teams. We've seen it before already earlier in the year. When their guards do not play good, Thomas Haw, Alex Condon, Ruben Chenyolu can only be so good. I mean, they can't bring the ball up. They can't handle the rock. They can't really play make as good as the guards do. But when they do play good, I think they're one of the best teams in the country, obviously. In Michigan, I think they are probably bigger than Florida in a way. Adi Mara, Yaxel Lendenborg, Morris Johnson, they are super deep. But Elliot Cadeau, I give him a lot of credit and a lot of flowers, but he is not the best consistent or not the most consistent scorer. He's a pretty good playmaker, but when he doesn't shoot very well, Michigan kind of struggles with that in a way throughout the whole team. But when Elliot Cadeau doesn't really play very good, they tend to struggle as well. And also, LJ Casey, their backup point guard, just tore his ACL a couple weeks ago. So they're kind of lacking in the point guard department. But they're going to lose a game. And if they do, it's going to be because they didn't shoot the 3-point very well all game. And Elliot Cadeau is jacking up like 35-footers. And they're not.
Listen, the Tar Heels knew that. That's why they dumped him.
That's exactly why they got rid of him. I agree.
That's why they got rid of him. Come on.
But
He
yeah,
only led the ACC in assists when we had to throw him out of there. Come on,
exactly.
We need a 3-point shooter in that.
I give Elliot Cadeau a lot of credit. I think he's one of the best drivers in college basketball. He can get to the rack.
I mean, for a little guy, man, he is tenacious.
He's very tenacious.
Going to the rim. Yeah, he's actually kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. But I think Dusty May
definitely one of the better passers in the league too. Love watching him pass.
100,000%. But I mean, kudos to Dusty May. He's done an unbelievable job up in Ann Arbor. But yeah, I think their guard play for both of those teams is really going to dictate how far they go. I mean, all they have to do is just be decent because their teams are just so deep. They're really, really good. Yeah.
What's up with what's up with Illinois? I mean, aren't they? I mean, I don't know if they lead, but I think they're number one in offense, or at least an offensive rating. What does their defense just suck or something, or what? Like, why don't
I'm pretty sure you're right on that. They are really, really good offensively. They can shoot the ball really well, and also they're big. A lot of these Big Ten teams, Purdue, Michigan, Illinois, like they're really big. They're really, really big.
No pun intended. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no pun intended. Big Ten, big. Yeah. But I haven't really seen too much about their defense, to be honest. I don't watch too much of Illinois basketball, but I will say they have some really good wins. They have some really good guards, Stojakovic, and they have a lot of guys from like Serbia and Croatia, all the European centers. I think like half their team and half their starters are from those foreign countries. So they know how to play a really solid, really good fundamental basketball. But yeah, I think the key for them is just going to be to stay healthy. They do have a couple injuries. Killian Boswell was out for a super long period of time. But Illinois is also going to be a team to watch. I think they can get it done as well. But yeah, defense is going to be their main point.
This is for everyone. A couple just thoughts, but Miami of Ohio. So we heard what Bruce Pearl said. He kind of walked it back a little bit because it's one thing to say a mid-tier SEC team, would beat a best win 64th, Miami 31-0 Miami team. However, he walked it back because he mentioned them by name, which isn't really cool. But they are 31-0, and their best win I think was Power 64 team in the country or something like that. But I mean, can they really? I mean, aside from a number 11 seed Cinderella that we get every year, we don't know who that's going to be this year. There'll probably be one. Are they that good? Can they make it to the grade 8?
Yeah, Jim, if you want to go first, you got it. I can go after you.
No, go ahead, Teddy. I want to hear what you got to say.
To answer your question, Dad, in a short way, absolutely not. But like you said, they are 31-0. They're 18-0 in their conference. Now, obviously, are they in any sort of a good conference? No. But I literally just made a video about this on my social media as well. They're undefeated. I think they deserve to get in. I don't really understand or see a way how, if a team is undefeated, they don't at least get an 11, 12, kind of like you mentioned. But anything higher than a 10 seed, I think, is a little crazy. 9 or 8, I think, is pushing it. But I think somewhere in that 10 to 12 range, I think they definitely deserve a spot and a shot. But when they run into a team, like we've mentioned, all the good 1 and 2 and 3 seeds, I think they would get absolutely steamrolled. They're lacking a lot of talent, a lot of size.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think they 100,000% deserve a spot. I mean, what an unbelievable season Miami, Ohio has had.
I mean, in college basketball, March Madness, I mean, it's been created to obviously when the bottom, I say the bottom, the first 20 teams in typically, are these mid, other conferences.
Yeah.
And so, you've created that precedence of getting them in there. So, when you got the Sun Belt and stuff, getting teams in and all that, why not? Hey, listen, I mean, in a rare circumstance, LIU, that's the NEC conference. They got the automatic bid. They didn't even win their conference, but Mercyhurst, who, right? They won, but they're ineligible because they're transitioning to D1. So anyway, let them in. I mean, come on, they've got to go in. And you know what? I hope they do a little damage just to reward themselves for a great season. But unless you're shooting 68% from three, when you're a team like that, I don't see how you do it.
Also, too, just to give Miami of Ohio just a double verification, all they got to do is just win their conference championship. They've already played every team in their conference. They've beat every team.
Right.
Just do it again. That's all they have to do.
Don't lose that. Yeah, don't lose that game.
Yeah, they'll lose whatever game they desperately need to win. But I did see that they're not even favored to win their own conference championship. Actually, Akron, last time I checked, is a better favorite to win their conference championship, which I think is a little bizarre.
Well, you know what? That's another question. So, because they're ranked in the top 25, Miami of Ohio. So, if they don't win their conference tournament, which, in years past, you'd almost have to get in if you want to, come from the MAC. However, because they're ranked, kind of like a little bit about the, the BCF playoffs last year or the CFP playoffs, maybe they should still get in because of their record, withstanding losing their conference tournament. We'll see. Another question. The Big Ten is allowing all 18 members into its conference tournament. So it is basically going to be a 6 games in 6 days path for the lower seeds. Do you think this helps or hurts anybody in particular in that conference?
Good question.
That is a good question. I mean, I think it's really only going to help the teams that are maybe on the bubble, like, for example, like a Northwestern or a team like that. Now, Northwestern obviously isn't in the bubble. But for a team like that who is maybe like in Ohio State, just to get a couple more wins under their belt to really secure a spot in the tournament, teams like that. But when it comes to the teams that are getting the double buys, the single buys, I mean, to be honest, I don't really think it's going to matter. Like if Michigan's playing, Northwestern or Rutgers for them, I mean, they're going to win by 20 either way or 30 either way. So it doesn't matter. But I think it really does help those teams that are on the bubble, or even it hurts teams that are on like a next 4 out or first 4 out, teams like that, where if they lose to a Northwestern, that doesn't help their case at all. But yeah.
No. Yeah, it's crazy. That's I think it's good to let everybody in because if the reward is going to the tournament, there are teams that have no shot. I don't want to bring up NC State, many years ago, but hey, that's why you have a tournament. Otherwise, what you got a trophy for not, for what?
I agree.
I wonder if, I'm not saying this will happen. I'm not saying it should happen, but it does kind of make me wonder in college football. I think there's going to be a real push for teams that are a lock. Last year's Ohio State, for example, to skip their conference championship. Why do it? I wonder if it's going to happen where teams that are a lock for March Madness, Duke, for example, is it going to happen one day where they're going to skip their conference champ? What do they have to win other than the conference championship? I don't know. Are they going to put more emphasis on going to the tournament healthy and not risking any injuries? So I wonder if conference tournaments might kind of start taking a back seat as well.
Yeah, it's a really good question. Sorry, Jim, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't think that will really ever, I mean, maybe not ever is a very strong opinion, but I don't think that's going to happen. And especially in football, I think they play obviously way less amount of games. And when you're like, number 8th in the country and you're in the SEC and, you're Alabama and you play Georgia, I think it's a little different because Duke is going to go to the tournament no matter what. Like, I don't think they would really sit out of a conference championship or any team in that nature. For football, it's a little different too because they play a lot less games. If Ohio State, for example, were to lose to, Minnesota randomly, that pretty much dictates their whole season right there. Like, they'll drop 6, 7, 8, 9 spots. I mean, college basketball, if that does happen, I think it's a lot more rare for it to happen in college basketball than it is football.
I
don't
agree. I think it's more about the health of the player. Like why play 2 or 3 games in a conference championship or tournament when you're a number 1 or number 2 seed lock?
Yeah.
Why would Boozer play at all? And I agree, winning the conference championship. But like in football, winning the Big Ten, 20 years ago, that was your goal for the season. Everything else was a bonus. That's all changed now. It's winning a national title, and so
I agree.
Yeah, you might see Boozer sit out the final game or 2. Who knows? By the way, speaking of Boozer, there's a lot of history on the line for Boozer. A couple things. Number one, if he is on track to be the first underclassman since Larry Bird. That's going back to average 20 points, 10 boards, and 4 assists per game. That's crazy. And Teddy, you mentioned Arizona and Duke pretty much locks for number 1 seeds going to be in the finals. I was reading this. This was pretty interesting too. If they do earn number 1 seeds, it will be the first time in history that multiple top seeds are led in scoring by freshmen, with Braden Burries and Cameron Boozer for Duke, and Braden Burries for Arizona. So it's the young guns coming up.
I agree.
I got a couple of questions for you on the subject of Miami of Ohio. What about the other Miami team in the ACC?
Yeah.
Miami Hurricanes are very good.
They are. They're really good.
No one's talking about them. And aren't they second or are they third in the ACC?
Well, they lost to Louisville, which, was a tough loss, but nonetheless, they're finished top 3 in the ACC. What a turnaround, though, Jay Lucas. They go 7-24 last year. This year, they're 24-7. 17-game turnaround with, in today's world, with the transfer portal and all that, Jay Lucas inherited 0 players from last year's team. They all left, whole new team, which if you're 7-24, maybe it's good that no one came back. But I am protesting that Shire, Duke's coach, who has all the McDonald All-American, if they even call him that anymore, all the time, the best players in the country, and he finishes the season the best team in the country. Let's give him coach of the year, ACC coach of the year. Give that to Jay Lucas. He earned it.
Love it. And I agree with you.
There's pros and cons. To be honest, I don't want to go against the grain here, but I have to disagree just a little bit when it comes to Duke's resume, who they beat, their record, their quad 1 wins. I mean, obviously, John Shire does a great job recruiting. Obviously, Duke itself is, all you really need to do to recruit, good high school players. But, I mean, Jay Lucas did an unbelievable job. Keep in mind, he came from Duke. But he did a really good job recruiting. He had a couple of really good commits coming out of high school, and he had a really good Indiana commit. I'm blanking on his name right now. But he built a really good team, and regardless of whether he won or not, I think he put Miami, Florida, on notice for sure. And they're another good team who they have the firepower, they have the talent, they have the depth, length. I think they can make a good run as well. But Jay Lucas,
I don't think they have quite enough great. I don't think they have quite enough great players yet. They got some good players. They're a good team. They're a good defensive team. But I think they're a year or 2 away. I will say this. Miami's they got it rolling right now, man. Football team. We all know what they did. Their baseball team started off 10-0. A little hiccup in Florida, but they're playing great now. Basketball's kind of back on the map, so I'm loving it. Well, listen, it's been a great conversation about basketball, but before we go, very quickly, in the couple of minutes we have left, I don't want to overlook the fact that the TPC is this weekend because you mentioned golf is your other passion. Me too. Matter of fact, full disclosure, don't tell Mom, but Teddy and I are playing golf Friday down at TPC Sawgrass, the original TPC, this week. Looking forward to that. No explanations. Who you got winning the TPC this year?
Yeah, Jim, you go first. I'll go after you.
Atia.
Ooh, all right.
Akshay
It's hot.
He's been playing really
It's
well.
like it's like a hoops team in March Madness. You get hot through your tournament and look out through the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. He's like 12th on the money list, plus 4,000. I like that choice. I'll go next. If I'm betting with my wallet, I'm going with Scotty Scheffler. Why wouldn't I? But if I'm betting with my heart, I'll be honest with you. The way Daniel Berger's playing, he's way down in the money. He's like plus 5,500 down there. But I got to be honest with you, man. Leading wire to wire last week at a very similar course as far as type of grass and weather and all that. I like him.
I 100% agree. This is my 4th year in a row going to TPC. I think it's just Ponte Vedra is unbelievable. I love going to that venue. TPC is awesome. But yeah, really excited for golf on Friday as well. But I think it's really hard to bet against Scotty Scheffler, and also the fact that he hasn't won anything yet. I think I saw some statistics earlier. I think he's like T 150th or something crazy on the first day of Thursday of a tournament, like strokes gained. And in the last 3 days, he's first. So if he has one good Thursday, that's all he needs to literally win a tournament. But my favorite golfer on the tour, PGA Tour, Cameron Young, I think he's playing really good golf right now.
He played great last week, too.
He played really good last week. He's played really good pretty much every week, but you got to ball strike your way around TPC Sawgrass. It's very tight. Greens are fast. You got to putt well. But I like Scotty, Cameron Young, and also I think Justin Rose has a good chance. He's played very well here at TPC Sawgrass. So
I'm not on the Cameron Young train until he gets a little personality. Because I mean, come on, what does he got? Botox? Smile, do something. My God, you can't have a game face on 40 hours a day.
Yeah. My goal is to get one fist bump from Cameron Young, but Peter Millar and Titleist collabs. Those are my 2 favorite brands on the golf course. So,
well, you did pretty good last year. Just try not to get any of your crew kicked out like you did last year. Yeah, try to all stay on site. But that's a story for another time. Hey, Teddy, we can't thank enough. Tell everyone where they can follow you. Where can they find you out there?
Yeah, I post a little bit on TikTok. You can follow me on Instagram as well. It's just my name, Teddy Toth. Should pop up. I'm doing pretty well on TikTok right now. So really enjoyed the podcast, and it was really great to hop on with you guys. Thanks for the invite again. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
One last question then. We're going to have you on. March Madness is getting started real soon. We know that. Are we going to ask you today, or are we going to prep you for coming on another show to ask you who's your national champ? Who's going to cut the net?
Let's
go.
That's an answer for another time. I'm not gonna disclose it here.
Chalk Jayhawk.
Jayhawk, that would be unbelievable. We have the talent to do it, but we have some consistency challenges to get through this year, obviously. But I think we have the best player in the country as a freshman, Darren Peterson. But that's a discussion for another time. But I would love to come back on soon. Let's do it. Let's get it done, Jim.
Hey, what? Let's get to the conference tournaments and see the seeds and see where everybody's at. Then we'll have another guest appearance by Teddy. We'll all throw out our picks. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Looking forward to it.
Right. Then we'll start asking you some hard questions.
Yeah. Okay? Oh yeah. No. They're gonna be hard next time.
I love the challenging questions. The harder the better, for sure. Let's do it.
We're gonna be like Boozer coming down the lane, not some small guard. All right. Well, listen, that's it for this episode of the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks with Jim and Joe and special guest Teddy. Thanks for checking us out and hanging with us for some real fan-driven sports talk.
Please don't forget, your comments are real important to us. Questions, give us a take. We love reading them. We will feature them on future shows. So please hit like, subscribe, and join our conversation every week for free on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok, or wherever you listen. And thank you, Ted. Thank you, Joe. That was great.
Thank you, Teddy. Jim, pleasure. Teddy, I'll see you in a couple days.
See you guys.
Yeah, pleasure. Bring your A game. See you.
Will do.